Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. I'd like to go ahead and get our session started together. I am J.R. Boatwright, and I am the FMEA session coordinator for this clinic session. We're fortunate today to have Dr. Fred Kirsten with us, speaking on how to get the gig acing an online music education job application. Dr. Fred Kirsten, as a certified superintendent of schools, Fred has extensive background in job placement, screening techniques, and search committee communications. In September of 2018, he published on this topic in the Music Educators Journal. For the past 9 years and currently, he is the lead instructor for online music technology at Boston University. Just communicating back and forth before our time together and meeting before we got started, guys, we are in for a great session. So, if you would join me in welcoming Dr. Kirsten with us.
Hey, all right, thank you very much. Thank you very much. And also, I've got to thank you so much to J.R. Boatwright. He is Director of Bands and String Studies at Dr. Mona Jane Middle School. Fantastic. He's helped me so much setting up. Come on in. There's handouts in the back, too. Grab one. So that he helped me so much setting up the technology. I'm so privileged to have him as my coordinator for this session. So, what am I going to try to do for you today? Well, my whole direction, folks, is I'm going to try to get you an interview. Okay, now I can't get you your job. Oh, by the way, thanks to someone gets so many college kids here. Yay! All right, yay. So I'm going to try to get you an interview. You've got to get the job yourself. I can't help you with that. However, I'm going to help you greatly. I want to talk a lot about the importance of online technology imagery. Everybody is looking at you now, okay? And I'll give you a couple examples. For the last 5 years, I've been doing mock interviews with college professors, and also I had a couple of assistant superintendents. I had an associate dean at one school at Cambridge. What they do is they come in with their CV and their cover letter. We try to help them get an image that goes up online. Well, 2 years ago, I walked back in, and here's the committee. Now we're the guys who are supposed to be helping everybody, right? We've all got CVs and we've got cover letters in hand. Everybody's got their handouts, and they're looking at what the person is looking like online, okay? So my point being, this is a very important aspect to have up. I also have to tell you, I have a friend who is a New York State policeman. Okay, now he also does looking online. Okay, well, the first thing he does, instead of, you see on Law and Order, and they have all these folders and all this information, the background and everything, he goes up on Facebook. And he looks it up and he gets all this information. So my point being is this online image is so important. I'm going to show you how you could take your cover letter and your CV and make it hyperactive. So you can show a person who is an employer what you can do right up front. He doesn't have to do all the searching, even though he or she is going to do it anyway. You've got to look at what's going up on social media big time. I've been working on this topic now for 10 years. And it's a fascinating topic, obviously. So I've communicated with a lot of assistant superintendents for personnel and human resources. One gentleman and I communicate very well. Well, all he does is hires teachers. That's all he does. And so he sent me this one example of a teacher that they had come in, okay? She was by a poolside. She had a drink in her hand. She was totally tipsy, and some guy had his arm around her. Okay, now this is the image they had for this fourth grade teacher. She didn't get the job. Now, I'm not a purist by any means, because I've been poolside, and is my TV on? I've had my drinks beside the poolside too, but be aware the image that's up online that people do find out about you. I'm going to talk about hyperdocument construction. I'm going to show you a lot of ways to do this. I'm also going to show you some free stuff that will help you get up online very quickly. I'm going to give you some examples of portfolios, e-portfolios of which, web pages that have been made that have got positions for individuals who work with it. And since I'm a techie, you're going to get a chance to see some aspects of audio and video. How many people consider themselves good, strong tech people in here? Okay, yay, okay, good. Welcome, okay? Think small, small, small. because the files you are sending out to these individuals have got to get to them like that, so they'll open them and so they'll look at you. And it's got to work, because if they don't, you're DED, okay, or DEAD, I guess it is. Okay, so anyway, I've given you 2 handouts, okay? One handout you've got in your hands is called How to Get the Gig AC Online Music Education Job Application, that I got published from FMEA last year, okay? If you do anything, read the article, okay? I don't have to sell it, I already got published, okay? But it will help you. One other thing you do, you go home and you look up online at yourself. How many people have done that? Have you run your name? You might be very surprised. I saw files that I put up 20 years ago. Go to a site called the Wayback Machine, okay? Anybody know it? Yes, you know Wayback Machine? Okay, look at Wayback Machine and run your name and see what you look like. Okay, so when I did this article, I found one thing that was really scarier than hell. Okay, this was a study that was done by Microsoft, and they found that 70% of human resources recruiters in the United States indicated they rejected candidates for job positions between the reputation information they found online. Additionally, 79% of the U.S. recruiters indicated they received online information as part of the hiring process. I think this is really scary, folks, because these are people that hire, human resource people that hire from 9 in the morning to 5 in the afternoon all over the world. And if you look at this study, you're going to find that in the UK, 65%, Germany, 71%, France, only 48%. French actually don't care what they do, actually, just as long as they pronounce it properly. And the United States, 86% admitted. Okay, I love that term, admit, like it's a crime to go up and look at the image online, that a positive online reputation has a definite impact on the candidate's application. So if you do anything, make sure you've got a site or something up there that looks decent to show them. Allison Doyle's a very interesting person. She works with Facebook, and she made suggestions for Facebook as a job promotion site. I don't like to use the term Facebook, because everybody hits Facebook. They don't think of social media and all the other good things that we all have up online, okay? I won't go further than that, but a lot of people puts a lot of stuff up. But she made some suggestions which are really good. She says Facebooks and business don't mix well. She said, if you're going to work with it, use it and decide if you're going to say social or you're going to move it out and make it towards an opportunity to support you. And if you're going to do that, decide what business contacts or prospective employers should see and what you don't want them to see. So she says very specifically, limit photos you put up, put content relative to your job search or career, and clean up the site that you have available. Since I got going on this topic about 8 years ago, I decided to see what people will look at me. And so I went to one of my meetings and I asked a committee of 5 individuals, including a very experienced person, to look at my stuff. And he looked at my cover letter. He said, Fred, I'm not going to read this. You give me a 3-page cover letter. I got 20 candidates to be able to screen. I'm not going to read all this stuff you got here. Show me what you can do for me now, okay? And I think it's a very important statement to think about. He says you do have a 1-page cover letter and you put in things that are pertinent to that job right away. So if you're doing anything with your cover letters, stay simple. So I applied his direction. I applied for a director of music K-12 position. And I wrote the cover letter out. I stayed with 1 page, and let me show you how I built it, so use my technology background. I said, Dear Mr. Samuelson, I am applying for the Director of Music K-12 position listed through OLIS. OLIS is an online application system in New York. I am permanently New York State certified as superintendent of schools. The first thing I did was I showed him certification. Certification is a biggie in any state you are working with. And now the newest thing is a thing called EDTPA. Anybody work with EDTPA? You will. Okay, in here. It's a new form of certifications nationwide. I showed him up front my certification as superintendent because If you are a director of personnel, you've got 60 to 80 teachers applying for a job. They want to look at certification. Many districts will exclude you right out if you don't have it in hand. I've heard statements from superintendents, directors of personnel, person coming in from out of state. I'm applying for certification. No good. I'm applying for certification, but I've got 10 credits left. No good. He's got 60 applicants, and he's going to get it down to 5. So if the one thing to do is a single criteria certification. So I knew that this district wanted administrative certification. So the first thing I did, you saw it, I showed them with a link, which you can build online. Then I said I have a degree in school administration, a lot of other good stuff. My current in working with online music education was nationally documented by working with NAFME. I knew that this district was looking for somebody who had NAFME background, and I had done 2 articles for NAFME, so here is one of them. Okay, so they could see it, clicking on it from that cover letter. And then I said I recently presented in San Diego for ATMI, CMS. I wanted to show them my academic scholarship. So I showed them what I was able to do with internet too. And then since NISMA, which is New York State School Administration, same thing as FMEA is here, is very much involved with that, I wanted to show them a presentation that I had done for NISMA. So I did this. Yeah. So without further ado, let's see what happens. So in other words, I showed them exactly what I looked at. Then I went on and talked about using an iPad as a way of doing performance, okay? So it showed me initially, okay? I play a little bit different recorder than BAG, all right? So anyway, but I wanted to show them me as a person right away. Then I said I had thorough knowledge of the Danielson domains and levels of performance and use the rubric they were using for evaluation. I knew that they were using this, and if I was to be a person who was going to be certifying and evaluating teachers, I wanted to show them I knew what they were doing in their district. This is something you do in your cover letter. You find something out about that school district, and you relate yourself to them. You show them that you looked at them, because that will put you into a different plane, okay? It's a very important thing. You've got to make a decision. Are you going to apply for 20 jobs or 2? Okay? If you want the job, then look at that specific. You're going to have to do your homework. Okay? Very important direction. Then I said I had dispatched my folder and all that other good stuff. My references from Boston University. I showed them a link to my reference. It's a non-confidential letter of reference. But it shows them somebody's going to look at it. You know, everybody wants to look and see, get some dirt someplace, you know. But anyway, this gives an example of what somebody thinks about me. And then I said I'd show my research, and I also provided a link to a teaching philosophy, because they're going to ask for that. Okay, so within that cover letter of 1 page, I've done all this stuff. You know all about me now, okay? Right? Don't go to the police, all right? But anyway, okay? This is something you can do. You can make a dedicated web page for that site, okay? How many people can run a web page editor in here? Okay, cool. Okay, you can all do this, all right? I can make a very simple web page editor. I could call myself for the job. I call this Vital Public School Job Opportunity Position. I can name the name of the district. I can use it for every type of other job that I apply to. I want to just change the name, okay? So that's something that I can do. And then I would show them application materials. I might give them an example of my Vita, all right? Or I might also include an application letter. Or what I might also do is I might give them my reference letters in that page. Or what I might also do is if I was applying for a K through 6 vocal, which is my area, I've got ORF certification, I'd show them my link to my ORF certification because it didn't come up. And then I would give them my transcript. Believe me, it's there, all right? It just doesn't like to do it today. And then I'd give them an example of philosophy. Tip. If you make your files out on your web pages, you save it as a PDF file. You don't save it as a docx or a pages. Why? Yes, sir? What will happen is that the page will drop down as a single file. okay? It won't open up. Okay, so what you want to do, in other words, as long as if I hit it as a PDF, it'll open. Okay, that's what the browser will do for it. Okay, but if otherwise it'll drop down and then the person just has another file. Okay, so that's something you can work with. If I was applying for a group of situation where I was going to conduct an elementary school course, I have something with conducting or performance. So that if I was applying for an elementary school gig, I would probably give them something like this. So I give them an example of my choral group, okay, that I conducted. If I was doing, since I'm a performance, if you're a trumpet player, clarinet player, whatever, I give them an example of my performance. I perform a little bit different type of sound with a recorder. So I give them an example of my performance. Okay, so this is something you can build into the page. So by the time that the person is done, they've got ideas. You don't have to give them all. I mean, I'm showing you all the different possibilities today. But I would make sure that the things are specific for that particular job. So what does a search committee want from you online? Okay, about 5 years ago, I was part of a study with NAM. And what we did is we surveyed out to the various music teachers that were hiring students coming out of, specifically many of them coming out of college. And I asked a question. I said, what is the most important suggestion you would give to a music education applicant to make the online application so attractive that you would say, wow, I will hire you? And I got back the following. Attention to details we ask for required. Online presence of quality is helpful. Detrimental information on images on Facebook or other sites will be a hindrance. Make the application relevant and specific to the job description. If you don't do that now, many times you're never going to see a person from HR, okay? You're going to see a computer. Because you type in that stuff, that computer is going to exclude you out. And I'm going to show you some examples that will scare you in a second. Real-time teaching experience through a student teaching segment of your career. You student teaching guys, I'm so happy to see you, okay? Because this is something you've got to build now. I'm going to show you 4 examples from Penn State, the best university in the world, okay? I went there. You probably figured it out. But anyway, from where you are, start building now. Okay, get stuff that you are doing with your kids, get things from your proctor teachers, have that ready to go, because man, oh man, it comes up fast, all right? As you know, as your money's running out of your tuition. Provide a specific resume portfolio oriented towards our district, O-U-R, all the way through the research I got back. Our district. Show me what you can do for me now. Know the district you're applying for. Does to apply for any old jobs you have no interest in a position. I'm a music teacher who serves on the music search committee. I look for a person that has significant success as a teacher of music with prior experience. I want to see online applications illustrate the applicant's background, specific manner, illustrate what he has done teaching music. Clear, clean illustrations what the person will do in our district. A strong online presence through YouTube e-portfolio. We share this information quickly on committee. I thought that was really a pretty neat thing to be able to say, because you've got a search committee of 5 people. They don't have to get together. They can then look at what you've got and follow up on it. How many people have stuff right now on YouTube? Yay. Okay, very good. Okay, so you've got things going for you. Fantastic. Start putting them up. It's a good idea. I'll talk about how to put them up in just a second. New teacher, illustrate your experiences college philosophy document. Develop a mock-up of the information required, save as a separate document. When you have to paste in, it's called a CGI. It's called the Common Gateway Interface. You know that little thing that you paste all that nice stuff into? Make your materials ahead of time. Make sure there's no spelling mistakes, grammar mistakes. I worked with 2 people who had doctorates in hand this last October, okay? Wonderful performers, okay? I mean, they could do with one hand, I could do with 2 hands on my feet. You know, I mean, these ladies were unbelievable performers. But they had a cover letter that had mistakes in it. When you're working with HR, human resources, you're going to find some music teachers who are going to look at you, and you're going to have some personnel people. They know nothing about music, okay? but they do know how to read your cover letter, and they notice you got the spelling mistakes there, and they've got to say something, so they'll probably will say it, okay? I've been on committee with those type of people. Valid require information care, no typos, missed spaces. Make sure that somebody else looks at your documents. What you see on that screen or this computer may not be able to be seen on another machine. Okay? You take a file and look at that file from somebody else's point of view. Have somebody else look at your material. So, application videos. You got to make sure of these and make them ahead of time, especially if you're student teachers. Try to start to get some video stuff that you've got you can send out. Because what you can do, sometimes you're working with a group that is an outstanding group, you want the videos made. If you do that, then what you can do is you can clip out the videos, okay? You can work with Premiere or any of the, I work with Final Cut Pro, but the various videos you can clip out and make a neat video about yourself, okay? Many employers now are asking for facial shots and pictures of you conducting. They're doing that for two reasons. One, obviously it gives them specifics, and also now there's a legal aspect. Because when you're shooting the videos, sometimes if you are shooting a video with kids in it, you have to ask permission for the picture of the video. Okay, I'll show you how you can do that in a cool way of doing it. You can do faded in, fade out clips if you want to go that direction. So let me give you an example. This is one I took from it was a job vacancy application about 3 months ago. And they were looking for a high school band guy. And so what they said was develop a video, multiple videos totaling 20-30 minutes, recent recorded material demonstrating candidates' rehearsal techniques, meaning they want you to woodshed, okay? Applicants are expected to include titles in the videos themselves. Man, these people are specific. Documents submitted with application materials, dates of rehearsals or performance. Majority of the footage should capture the conductor facing the camera. Applicant is responsible ensuring the videos are readily accessible, playback appropriately regardless of computer platform, Mac, PC, browser, Firefox, Chrome, Safari, all those good things. So, what you can do. Focus on your conducting style, not the students. This is an example by Trevor K. Aussie. He is directing the Paoli Junior Senior High Band in Texas. And the way he did it was you could use your cell phone camera if you want. I put it on a tripod. Okay, or if you're shooting a video camera so that you've got something to steady, you can shoot those videos all day long, and then you can get something like this. Identification immediately. What he's doing, warm-ups, lip benders. And then what he does is he builds segments. He's got a segment of warm-ups. At least I love about the way he did warm-ups, okay? Because, you know, I want to see somebody who's concerned about ensemble sound. You know, I mean, how many band people in here? Okay, I would love to make sure. I mean, this guy's showing warm-ups, and I mean, it's not, you know, the William Tell Overture in 6/8 time, you know. But I want to see something that the guy's got. He's proud of he's doing warm-ups, and he wants to show you he's done it. So he's got 3 segments. He's got that. He does woodshedding, and then he shows part of the performance. So he clips them together, which I think is a cool direction. Also, I'm glad to see the kid, you know, fixing the reed on the left-hand side, because to me, that shows that the video is realistic. You know, if it was too square and too perfect in that, I'm glad to see that the kid is working in that direction. I want to show you what you can do with this e-portfolio direction. Penn State's got a program. They start in the freshman year. Over 4 years, they make an e-portfolio. So for 4 years, the kids put together examples, artifacts, if you will, of things they do. So when they get to the 4th year, they want to apply out, they've got all this information to build in. So what they do then is have web pages that are ready to go. So for example, if you notice how beautifully this young lady did her web page, I think it's so cool because it's so simple and yet it's so perfect. She spotlights herself, and then she talks about her resume and her other honors and awards. She talks about her musicianship, her conducting. She talks about her teaching, the various aspects required. She's out of student teaching, so she still indicates that. Okay, and vocal health and other directions from there. Mike has set his page out really unique because if you notice the way he's got it set up with the header, it welcomes him, and then you see the Nittany Lion. Okay, we won Cotton Belt big time. Didn't do well against Ohio State, but anyway. Then he's got pictures of his band, and then he's got his resume, vision, and all the other good things. Third one, Kate does a nice job with her page. She did this with Weebly. Anybody work Weebly in here? Yay, okay, good man. Weebly is really cool because you can do so many different things with it. But you notice how she did this page? She did black and white. Okay, she didn't hit you with all the various colors, which are too vivid. She then put her header side on the other side and did resume and all the other good things that are there. Rachel does a nice job with her page because I love what she does. She says, my name is Rachel and I am a certified teacher in music K through 12. What does that tell you about what I just said? She shows you she's got certification in hand, albeit only in Pennsylvania. But she's also then got philosophy and the various other things that she can build. So this is something you can do as you work with these pages. Websize your page, small files, building down. I'll talk about that in a second. Don't work with gaudy colors and fonts. Put your portfolio URL on your resume, cover letter, illustrate your tech skill immediately. How many people have a web page up? How many people are applying for jobs? Okay, if you are applying for a job, do you have it on your cover letter or on your CV? Good, okay, bravo. Okay, that's something because I had 2 people that came in, I worked with this last, phenomenal performance skills, you know, but they had nothing on their pages. Okay, smart man. Okay, a good direction on that. Really, that's what direction I'm going with. Composer, how many people were Composer in here? Okay, Composer is a free software. You can work on both dual platform, Mac and PC side. I've given you all that information in your handout. Look it up. Okay, it exports out to HTML5 and it also is WYSIWYG. Okay, what you'll see is what you'll get. It's really good stuff. I work off with Dreamweaver and a lot of other ones, but this is really a good thing to work with. So I've given you that information, so make sure you follow up on it. Also, when you start getting involved with audio, reducing your files down, I work with AAC. How many people have worked AAC in here? Okay, AAC is called Advanced Audio Coding or Advanced Audio Codec. I'm improving your tech skills now, okay? So everybody, be very, AAC is a new format, okay? MP3 you've all worked with, right? I know that. Okay, MP3 is what's called lossy software. Okay, in other words, your format is going to lose some quality, even though you reduce the file size. AAC is better. It's the newest thing that you go out and you just say, hey, how do you work with AAC anymore? So you could be one up better than your friends. So that's why I take my session. Anyway, but if you work with AAC, you can then take a 5.7 meg file as MP3, drop it down to 300K as AAC, and you'll have better quality. And by the way, you're going to see AAC more and more, okay? So you now start to look at it, okay? Something you can do. I work off Logic Pro, okay? I've been using it for a lot of years. I bounce out of that. I bounce out at 16-bit, okay? That's the, you can go down as low as 8-bit if you want to. You'll lose your quality a little bit, but if you go to 16-bit, you're safe because you'll stay a good size file. How many people work with Audacity? Okay, cool. Okay, great. The newest version of Audacity is 2.3.2. I shot this 3 months ago. It was 230. My students are going to work with Audacity now coming up at 232. The nice thing about working with Audacity now is the old version of it, you had to download additional files to make it export out as MP3, okay? Not so anymore. So what I can then do is I can now bounce out at AAC, I can work with the FLAC, or I can work with the other types, Ogg Vorvis, and all these things. So if you are working now with Audacity, get the newest version, okay? If they just came out with the newest version, it is cool and work. I talked about photos for the web. Websize your pictures to the smallest size possible. I decided to take the TIME. Anybody TIME in here? Okay, TIME is Technology Institute for Music Education. You can get a certification in this by taking courses as you go through. Get your TIME certification. Because if you notice what I've done here, I just decided to play with the logo. It came out as 311K. Web size is out, I think I used Elements 13 or something like that out of Premiere. Okay, no, I'm sorry, Photoshop. And I bounced it from 311K down to 17.7K. So it downloads in 4 seconds. Okay, but whatever you do, most of your photo software will allow you to web size your pictures. Do so, it will help you. How many people have a YouTube channel? Good, okay. YouTube channel is really very unique. What do you use yours for?
Me?
Yeah.
I use it for putting up videos of myself.
Great, that's fantastic. This is exactly what I'm pushing towards, because the nice thing about building a YouTube channel is that what you can do is customize it, as he's doing. And what you can do with that, you can make a background for it, you can make headers for it. A lot of businesses do this. And so I decided to make one for you. This is just a simple one. I've got about 3 or 4 of them, but I decided to use my Caladium pictures for my header. All right, I call myself F. And what you can do then is, you notice you can put up icons for each one of your videos, so that you're not just sending out a URL for the various videos that you construct, which is really neat. You can also work with some freebie websites. Wix is one of them. Wix is really quite cool. Wix has now gone towards including audio and video, so they're making it more specialized. So you can put your web pages up. You can get your own domain. Anybody have their own domain in here? Good. That's great, guys. It's fredkirsten.com or whatever your name is.com. It sells you another direction. Okay, you see, because somebody's looking at you and say, oh boy, they've got their own, and they will remember that. So you can make your own domain also. Also, you can use Weebly in here, which is really cool. Most of their type of templates that they are using are aimed at businesses, but they also have some simple ones. And then there is WordPress. Anybody work with WordPress in here? Okay, WordPress is the one BU is using. WordPress is really pretty good. I don't like the interface on WordPress. I mean, I work with Dreamweaver, and I like the continuity. I also like the Composer that I've just given you. Work with Composer, it's free. But WordPress, one of my students 3 years ago, part of our course, they had to make an e-portfolio. He sent his portfolio out. He's a high school band director. He got a college job from our program, you know. I told him we're going to raise his tuition because he got a job. But anyway, you know, I mean, he made it. He put up some of his own compositions. They liked his site, and you can work with these sites as you start to go. You can also use Google Classroom, put videos up online. I decided to display my mush on it to show you how you can do it, but you can build that direction too. When you're working with YouTube, you've got to upload files. The files will compress out, and it will compress out into a streaming format. So the file doesn't come as one big clunk and then it stops. You all experience that, okay? If you go with YouTube, there's a format that they want to put the file up online. It's MP4. That's the one. It's actually developed from a group called MPEG, Motion Pictures Experts Group. Okay, so when you see MPEG, you now know what it is. It's a group of people worldwide who come up with these formulas. You've heard about MP3, MP2, MP4, and there's going to be an MP5. It's made by this group. That's the Motion Pictures Experts Group, and that's why they call it MP. Okay, so you're all astute in that area. That's the best way to put the file up to upload it onto YouTube. Don't use MOV. Okay, MOV files the QuickTime format. Okay, because what will happen is you compress down to QuickTime, you're losing quality. Every time with video you compress the file, you're going to lose quality. So if you're going from move up on to the site, you're going to lose the quality. Okay, be aware of it. So go with MPEG. Also, if you'll notice, I've given you a site on this information, folks, so you can follow up on it. As they say, the best used audio is working with AAC. So go AAC, you'll be better quality when you're putting it up. How many people have a LinkedIn site? Good. Okay, great. Okay, LinkedIn is another way you can do the whole direction. You can build yourself an online resume. You can put up all different types of things about yourself. If some of you have done it, it works out very nicely. And many times people who are hiring have LinkedIn sites too. So what they'll do is they'll just run a search on you. And so that's a great way of doing it. Fantastic that you'll be able to work with that direction. Some other resources, Canvas. Anybody work with Canvas? Okay, good. Okay, Canvas is there. I've given you that site you can follow up on. Another one is the online CV Builder. Okay, I'll show you exactly what you can do with it. What you can do then is build. I made one to show you how you work with. I can put my name, then I could put a picture up. I could work with work experience, education, all these other good things that you can build online. And then there's a templates free site that I've given you. All this stuff is in your second handout, by the way. So go to it because I've given you everything. They've got 865 templates. They're HTML5 compatible, and so you can follow that direction. So for the last 11 minutes left, I'm going to be talking about constructing a cover letter. And I'm going to get a little caustic because I want you to think about what you write for that cover letter. You put your heart and soul when you're writing that letter, right? Okay, I know I've had the feeling. It's always a pretty nasty thing when you get rejected too, all right? But be aware what comes out of the other side. So I'm going to go take a letter, 10 minutes left, thank you. I'm going to take a letter that was constructed, and I'm going to go only parts of it, but I'm going to try to show you my train of thought. Think about what the other guy or the other person sees. So this letter was written to Mr. Largo Ego, Assistant Superintendent of Personnel, Down Trident School District, Slippery Snow, New York. Everything in New York right now is probably slippery snow. But anyway, dear Mr. Ego, this letter is to introduce yourself. And I said, I know who you are, your name is on the letter. And let you know of my interest in the elementary school vocal position at Down Trident Elementary School. And I immediately says nothing. The attached resume file will furnish you with information concerning my overall employment, background, training, education, and skills. My work abilities are backed up with experience and knowledge. And I said, I never questioned your work abilities. Why is this statement necessary? I assure you that I can successfully fulfill any obligation required in each of my previous teaching positions. Duh, how many have you had? I have performed my assignments with a high degree of skills and professionalism. And I said, I never said you couldn't, not necessary. My current objective is to obtain a position that will fully utilize my skills and offer an opportunity for continued professional growth. And I said, that's why you're applying for the job? What about the kids? I believe in excellence and always dedicate myself to improving my talents. And I said, I sure hope so, so what? So anyway, let's take that cover letter because that was part of a cover letter that I got, okay? And let's change it. Now, you're going to see some of the things I've talked about because I'm trying to reinforce some of the parts of my presentation. Dear Mr. Ego, as an experienced New York State music specialist, you know what you're going to see, right? Okay? You're going to see an example of my certification. It's music, if I hadn't put that up. I'm pleased to apply for the elementary school vocal position at Down Trident. My 12 years of teaching elementary school music K through 6 past tenure. Include the link to a tenure letter if you have such. Because if you've got good credentials from some guy who had past tenure, and I talk to people who have got tenure in hand, that's great to have. because it shows you got tenure in a district, and it also shows that if that person is going to support you, you've got a very positive reference right away. Okay, because a lot of times people move on because their husband or wife goes to a new job, or you get a new position, or you move on for another thing, and that you still got that favorable direction. My technology skills will bring to downtrodden adaptability, versatility immediately applied to the duties established. As I looked at the current music link position at downtrodden, my certification in orphan technology include links to those certifications, will enhance my present curriculum revisions that include music technology support for your new lab. And then I said, I invite you to listen to my elementary school course. You know what you're going to hear. I'm going to talk about the aspects of my dedicated e-portfolio for that, my performance, and then I would also put in a transcript, especially if you've completed a degree. Sometime if you're going out young, they're going to ask you for it. Right, guys? If you've applied for them, yes? Yeah. You're right on the line with it because they're going to look for that. You show them you've got it in hand, okay? It's a very important thing to do, especially if you're going out and doing teaching. So, the new direction, and I've got to bring this up. I didn't put a link in this because I want to talk about two aspects. Right now, many districts are using services to screen you out. And what the first thing that service, that computer will do, will send to the emails of your references a request for an automatic letter of reference, okay? I hate it. I have filled out 4 of these for my students last year. What I do, I make sure my students know that I'm going to be a reference for them. I develop a generic page. I ask them, give me specifics. And so I build that out, so what will happen then is that somebody's asked me this, the computer asked me, I can fill in and give them something right away, because I try to support them big time. Okay, my kids are masters and doctoral students, okay? But this is the way I do it. And so the other thing that's starting to happen is keyword screening. They've got your CV enhanced being done big time in business. They look for specific keywords of things they want, they run it through a computer, and if they got 60 applicants, they can knock out 30, okay? It's scary. It's really, but it's being done. It's being done, this is where the technology. So the last thing I want you to do, I want you to meet Vera. And Vera is a person who does a lot of interviews.
Hello, my name is Vera, and I'm a robot. And what's your name?
Hi, my name is Jason Bellini. This is Vera, a robot that does job interviews.
What are the 3 top important tips for a salesperson?
She's done 10,000 of them and counting.
Congratulations. We chose you as one of the best candidates for a sales representative.
What looks like the future is already a reality. Hiring is undergoing a revolution. Almost all Fortune 500 companies now use some form of automation. She keeps winking at me and then rolling her eyes at me. But many companies are also trying to look under the hood of job applicants and assess them in completely new ways.
You're quantifying human behavior, human expressions, human voices, turning that into data. We're now using artificial intelligence to help companies find the very best talent.
And most likely you were being analyzed by an algorithm. How does that make you feel?
I feel like that would blindside me entirely.
Experts call the proliferation of artificial intelligence, machine learning, and data science tools the Wild West of hiring. Critics, and even some hiring managers themselves, say they're concerned about these tools' potential for bias. They raise issues like fairness, transparency, and accuracy.
So has the government taken a look at these algorithms to figure out whether they are within the law?
Not yet.
Thank you for an interesting dialogue. Have a nice day.
Thanks. You have a nice day too, wherever you are. Fingers crossed.
So you can see where this whole direction is going with the technology. It's scary. It's the most fascinating subject that I've been researching. I've been researching this for 10 years now, you know. I mean, I really get fascinated into it because there's so many things that are starting to go on with this. So I've given you a handout. You've already got the hard copies. On the front of your handout, there's a URL for this webpage for this presentation. Go to it, get the digital version, okay? Because then I've given you tons of sources, okay? You guys nice, you can sneaky, don't put my name on it, use it for a term paper. No, but I've got all my resources there, so follow up on it, okay? And I really thank you for coming. It's great to be able to work with college kids because, I'm trying to build that. And just thank you for coming to my session.
Let's give Dr. Kirsten a round of applause. Thank you. On behalf of the FMEA, we'd like to present you with this certificate of appreciation for what you've done for us today. Thank you so very much.
Oh, I thank you so much. Thank you. I really do. And this is going up on the webpage. I'm really proud of this, okay? Because, you put the work into it, but the good thing is the reward. You got my email, okay? I respond to them, okay? So, and I'll be most happy to help anybody I can online. So get back to me. Don't worry about it. Thanks for coming. Enjoy the rest of your time.